Ladies and gentlemen, there is a battle going on every single day, and it's not out there in the streets, it's right here in the mind. Most people lose the fight before it even begins because their minds are filled with noise, with fear, with distractions that steal their focus and bury their potential. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your true power, your clarity, your purpose is not found in doing more, shouting louder, or chasing harder? It's found in silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is strength under control. It's the place where clarity is born, where energy is renewed, and where potential is unlocked. The world will try to pull you in 100 directions, but if you can master your mind and silence the noise, you will find a power inside you that nothing can shake. In this speech, you are going to discover why silence is not the absence of power, but the very foundation of it. You will learn how a calm mind gives you strength when life gets heavy, how stillness brings clarity when confusion surrounds you, and how peace fuels energy when the world tries to drain you. If you stay with me until the end, I promise you will walk away with more than just words. You will walk away with a mindset that can transform your future. So lean in, focus, and don't let a single distraction pull you away. Because what you're about to hear is not just advice. It is a blueprint for unlocking the greatness that has always been inside you. The world we live in today is filled with endless noise, and not just the kind you hear with your ears on the Joes. It is the noise of opinions, the constant pressure of social media, the chatter of doubts in your head, the endless comparison to others, and the distractions that pull you away from your own path. This noise, whether external or internal, becomes the greatest barrier to unlocking your true potential because it clouds your vision and keeps you from hearing the voice that matters most, your own. When there is too much noise around you, you start living in reaction to it. You find yourself adjusting to fit the expectations of others, chasing validation that never lasts, and losing the ability to focus on what you were created to do. Noise blocks growth because it shifts your energy from creation to distraction. It robs you of the chance to build discipline, patience, and clarity. Every time you get lost in the noise, you delay the discovery of who you really are. Silencing the mind is not about escaping from the world. It's about creating the space to focus on the right things. Growth requires concentration, and concentration requires peace within. Think about a seed planted in the ground. It cannot grow if it is constantly being disturbed, pulled out, or shifted around. In the same way, your potential cannot fully bloom if your mind is constantly restless, consumed by noise, and distracted by everything but your own purpose. Silence gives your mind the stillness it needs to process, to imagine, and to receive the wisdom that is already within you. It allows you to filter out what doesn't matter and align yourself with what does. The reason so many people fail to reach their potential is not because they lack talent, but because they never learn to quiet the noise that keeps them from fully using it. They spend their energy reacting instead of creating, comparing instead of building, worrying instead of working. The truth is, when you silence your mind, you begin to recognize the difference between what's urgent and what's important. You become stronger than the distractions. You stop following the crowd and start following your own path. And that is the point where growth becomes possible, because the silence that once felt uncomfortable transforms into the foundation of your strength, the birthplace of your focus, and the doorway to your highest potential. Silence builds strength because it teaches you how to remain grounded in moments when the world is shaking around you. Most people believe that strength is shown through loudness, through quick reactions, or through proving themselves at every turn. But true strength is found in the ability to stay calm when everything else is in chaos. When you can quiet your mind, you stop giving power to fear, anger, or insecurity. And that is when you discover an inner power that no external force can take away. The discipline of silence is like lifting weights for the soul. Each time you resist the urge to react, each time you pause instead of rushing into judgment, each time you hold your peace when provoked, you are strengthening the foundation of your character. In silence, you learn patience, and patience is one of the strongest qualities a person can possess. Life will test you with delays, setbacks, and disappointments, but the calm mind does not collapse. That strength is not loud or flashy, but it is unshakable, and it carries you further than any burst of emotion ever could. Silence also trains your resilience because it forces you to sit with discomfort rather than run from it. In that stillness, you realize that challenges do not break you, they build you, and that every storm you survive is another layer of strength added to your foundation. There is also courage in silence. It takes courage not to answer every insult, not to fight every battle, not to prove yourself to every doubter. It takes courage to stay focused on your path when distractions and negativity surround you. But that courage is born in the quiet moments when you remind yourself of who you are and what you are capable of. The silence becomes a shield that protects your energy and preserves your focus. The reason silence builds strength is because it allows you to master yourself before you face the world. If you cannot control your own emotions, you will always be controlled by circumstances and people around you. But if you can hold your peace, you carry a strength that nothing can easily break. That inner strength is what separates those who endure from those who give up, those who rise above challenges from those who are crushed by them. Clarity through stillness is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself because the mind cannot see clearly when it is restless, anxious, or constantly distracted. A noisy mind jumps from thought to thought, never settling long enough to recognize the right direction, while a still mind creates space for understanding, insight, and wisdom to surface. When you quiet your thoughts, you open the door to clarity, and with clarity comes the ability to make decisions that shape your future instead of decisions that only satisfy the moment. It is in moments of stillness that you begin to hear the deeper voice within, the one that guides you toward purpose instead of distraction. In life, most mistakes come not from a lack of intelligence, but from a lack of clarity. People make choices in haste, driven by fear, anger, or pressure, and later regret the path they took. Stillness interrupts that cycle by giving you the pause you need before reacting. It allows you to step back, to view the situation from a higher perspective, and to see what is hidden when emotions run high. That pause can be the difference between success and failure, between strengthening a relationship and destroying it, between pursuing the right path and wasting years on the wrong one. Clarity through stillness is not about doing nothing. It is about creating the mental space to choose wisely before you act. When the mind is calm, creativity also flows more freely. Innovation, solutions, and ideas rarely come in chaos. They appear in silence when the mind is clear enough to connect dots that were once scattered. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, and creators found their breakthroughs not in constant activity, but in quiet reflection. Stillness sharpens the mind like a blade, making it more effective and precise when it is finally put to use. Without it, energy is wasted on confusion and misdirection. The real power of clarity is that it gives you confidence in your choices. You no longer chase every opportunity, entertain every distraction, or fear every obstacle. You know what matters and you align your actions with that truth. In stillness, you stop reacting to the noise outside and start listening to the wisdom inside, and that clarity becomes the compass that guides you toward your greatest potential. Focus on the inner voice is essential because it is the one compass that never lies, yet it is often drowned out by the noise of the world. Every person has within them a voice that knows what is right, what is purposeful, and what is aligned with who they truly are. The problem is that most people do not take the time to listen to it. They are so caught up in the opinions of others, the expectations of society, and the comparisons that come from watching what everyone else is doing, that they forget to listen to themselves. The inner voice is not always loud, it speaks in whispers, and that is why silence becomes so important. Only in stillness can you hear it, and only by trusting it can you begin to unlock the direction that leads to your potential. This inner voice is not built from fear or doubt. It is built from truth. It is the voice that pushes you to grow when you want to stay comfortable. It is the voice that reminds you to get back up when you feel like quitting. It is the voice that tells you the difference between what looks good and what is good for you. Too often, people ignore this voice because following it is not easy. It requires courage to choose your own path instead of following the crowd. It requires discipline to stick to what feels right when distractions call your name. And it requires patience to wait for the results of decisions that align with your deeper purpose. Listening to the inner voice gives you focus because it clears away the clutter of outside influence. Instead of living for applause, you start living for meaning. Instead of chasing temporary validation, you start building lasting fulfillment. And once you begin to trust that voice, you gain confidence because you are no longer pulled in 100 different directions. You know where you are going. And even if the road is hard, you understand it is your road. The truth is, the inner voice is the bridge between who you are now and who you are meant to be. When you ignore it, you drift further from your potential. But when you honor it, you unlock a power that no outside opinion can match. That voice has always been there, waiting for you to be silent enough to listen and bold enough to follow. Peace unlocks energy, because a restless mind drains strength faster than any physical labor ever could. When your thoughts are scattered, when you are consumed by worry, fear, or frustration, your energy is being spent on battles that do not move you forward. You can wake up in the morning feeling full of potential, but if you carry stress and mental noise throughout the day, by evening you are exhausted without having truly accomplished anything meaningful. This is because mental chaos burns through your energy like fire, leaving little left for progress, creation, or growth. On the other hand, when you train your mind to remain calm, you preserve your energy for what really matters. You are no longer wasting strength on overthinking situations you cannot control or replaying conversations that cannot be changed. It turns patience into a weapon and calmness into authority, making it one of the greatest tools you can carry in every area of life. When you bring all these truths together, the message becomes clear. The greatest victories in life do not come from shouting louder, reacting faster, or chasing after everything the world throws at you. They come from training your mind to be still, from silencing the noise that clouds your vision, and from listening to the quiet strength within you. Silence is not emptiness, it is power. It is the foundation of clarity, the source of energy, the shield that guards your focus, and the bridge that carries you toward your true potential. Boom. When you learn to calm your mind, you unlock the ability to face challenges with strength, make decisions with wisdom, and move through life with purpose. So carry this with you. You do not need to prove yourself to the world by noise. You prove yourself by discipline, by calmness, and by results. Protect your peace, honor your inner voice, and let your silence speak louder than words ever could. That is where your true power lies, and that is the key to unlocking the life you were meant to live. I wish you strength on your journey, clarity in your decisions, and peace in your heart as you rise to your highest potential. Thank you for listening, and good luck as you step forward with focus, courage, and the calmness that turns dreams into reality.